My name is Cole. I'm 47 years old.
My name is Roland, and I am 47 and 7 months.
My name is Shai. I'm 47 years old.
My name is Akello, and I'm 48 years old.
I am George, and I am 48 years old.
"50 means I probably don't have another 50 years. It's a funny number because to me it means I'm old. And I never really think of myself like that.
50 is a pretty big number, and it means that I probably only have 35, 36 more years on this earth, and I've lived longer than I have left to live.
To me, it means that like 2/3 of my life is over. And there's a part of me that is kind of grieving that.
But I think now being 50 or getting close to 50 means that I need to make more use of my time. I need to do the things that I've been putting off.
I'm grateful that I've lived this long, so continue to live on and be blessed for the days that I have.
A new starting point where I now have to be very sure of my goals and start running as fast as I can.
Things seem to take more time and effort than they used to.
It also means that there's some things that I probably should have achieved by now. And when I say achieved, I don't even necessarily mean the amount of money that I have, just goals in life, the places that I think I would have seen already.
You know, when you think about a specific age, you think about everything that you've done and everything that you've accomplished up until now, and then how much time do you really have left to get the kind of things done that you had always dreamed of doing.
50 is, if you want to call it a wake-up call, I guess you can. 50 is a new starting point. That's really what it feels like.
So I better enjoy it and embrace it and own it. I feel like I'm kind of at the same place turning 50 as I was at 25. And the reason I say that is because at 25 I was still trying to figure out what I want to do, who I want to be when I grow up, and my career. And now that I'm turning 50 soon, I'm actually at that same phase of what do I want to do now and what's next for me.
It really depends on the way you look at it. If we're talking physically, obviously I was in much better shape. In some ways, I might actually be in better shape cardio right now, but although I might be just fooling myself. But I've got issues with my joints that I didn't have at 25. So, of course, I've got a little less hair on my head than I used to.
Don't take every day for granted. I think when you're younger, you take your life, take your family, take your friends, take things for granted. I think the older you get, you appreciate those things in your life. So that's how I feel I changed in the last 24, 25 years.
25 was a difficult time for me because I was already separated from my first husband. I had in my mind that he was the one, I would be married and things would be great, and it didn't turn out that way. So at 25, I felt like I was starting again. I was also woken up to the fact that life was hard.
Surprisingly enough, I still feel like the same person, inside that I was when I was 25. I'm definitely much wiser. I'm definitely more grounded, I think, in reality.
And now, having had all these years of experience, of life experience, has allowed me to deal with things in a much more mature manner, to feel more capable of dealing with problems as they arise rather than frantically trying to deal with a problem.
I mean, at 25, probably wanting to really grow and develop, and turning 50 and now I still always want to grow and develop, and now I want to downsize and make things smaller and easier.
Interestingly enough, though, I was more concerned about my personal life than I was about my career. With my career, I always thought I had time. Now looking back, I wish I hadn't thought about it like that. I wish I had put my career first.
Was that when I was 25 years old, the world was full of possibilities and opportunities, and that's all I saw was all this potential that I had in my life and all these different things that I can try to achieve. And now getting close to 50, I'm concerned that I don't have as many possibilities available to me.
At 25, you don't know. You just don't know.
They say life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer to the end, the faster it goes. I find myself getting up earlier now and going to bed earlier as well. I used to be able to stay up until 2 a.m. and then get up at 7 and just seize the day, but now I need more time and I need to accept that.
When I was younger, I could remember things that happened 20, 30 years. Now, I can't remember what I made for dinner.
There are some drawbacks with the aging mind, of course, memories, and I think my short-term memory is probably not as strong as it was when I was younger. My long-term memory is still there.
I think the things that I dislike the most is memory issues, of course. Just, not being able to quickly get a word or a name that I know 20 years ago I would have easily been able to get.
What I dislike is I forget a lot, and I probably forgot a lot when I was younger as well, but I'll start to go to do something and I'll forget, or I'll switch up, and that's been kind of tricky.
The amount of information that we have to keep up with on a regular basis, passwords, logins, and all these different accounts in order to just make things happen.
One of the things I do like is that I have a wider breadth of experiences to draw on, a wider breadth of reference sets. I can now talk about things from the last 45 years versus talking about it just in a narrow amount of time.
I'm more open to things and situations, and really wanting to try different things and go different places.
As I do feel more wise, I feel more like the degree of compassion that I have is elevated. My ability to listen, my ability to integrate ideas in a new way has all come from years of experience of doing it.
I was saying the other day I need to start doing some different things to strengthen my memory. And because that's something I've always struggled with, and I think now that I'm getting older, I'm super conscious of it now, because I feel like if I don't get on top of it or stay on top of it, that's going to change.
I don't think there's anything to like about an aging body. At least not for me.
I cannot think of anything that I like about my aging body.
I kind of want to say I hate it.
Nothing.
Even trying to get out of bed in the morning, it's kind of difficult.
There are times when I wake up and all of a sudden I have some freak back pain that I didn't have the day before, and I didn't do anything, and have no idea when it's going to go away.
I was diagnosed with arthritis in my hips at the age of 37, which was far younger than the average person who ends up with arthritis, skeletal arthritis. And it sucks. It really sucks, but it wasn't aging related, but it certainly made me realize how I'm going to be constantly dealing with additional things as I get older.
I feel everything, my aches, my pain.
Nose hair, more ear hair.
My metabolism slowing down.
And I noticed, certain things are not as great as they used to be.
These freak aches and pains, they're not fun.
Gray hair, wrinkles.
In my head, I still, feel very young and I believe I look young, but every morning my body reminds me that I am getting older, and my knees hurt a little more, my hips hurt.
But what I do like though, if I feel sore, tired, I just want to go to work. In the younger days, I would have tried to move through it and get up and do it. But nowadays, if I don't feel like it, I'm not going to do it.
I get a little worried when I look in the mirror because you wonder if things are going to get a little better. I'm really picky though. I've been an athletic person, for most of my life.
It's like an old car, and old cars, you have to turn them on and you just have to let them warm up before you can even take off. If you take off too soon in a car that's old, that hasn't been warmed up properly, it's probably going to stall, and you're going to have to turn it back on, and hopefully it turns back on. So it's definitely a patience builder. It's really listening to your body, and sometimes your body says things you really don't want to hear.
Now, if I look at food, I gain 3 pounds.
But I realized that I need to keep moving. In fact, I literally, at the age of right after my 47th birthday, got this tattoo. I danced I've been dancing since 1989, and so that's why the dancing feet. And it's a reminder that no matter what, no matter how I feel, no matter how my joints feel, no matter how I feel as I get older, that I need to keep moving every single day of my life.
But on the other hand, this body has gotten me through a lot, and it keeps fighting back. It does not give up. I've had 3 major surgeries in my life. Every time I healed, it hasn't failed me yet. So all I can do is treat it well. I am determined not to go out being frail. I work out every day. I am determined to have the best body that I possibly can at this time.
And that's really hard to do.
Yeah, people have definitely said that I looked younger than I am.
Today, someone didn't believe that I was 47. I don't hide my age at all. I just obviously don't say, hi, I'm rolling up 47.
Fortunately, I've been told a lot.
Yes, I've been told that I look actually younger than my actual age is. I think that's pretty flattering.
It does feel good when people say I look younger, but I realize that only means, usually it just means my face.
I've had people say, oh my God, I can't believe that. I thought you were 35.
I don't actually tell people how old I am.
Because we'll face ageism, which is rampant, especially for someone like me who's in a full-time job search, and every time I go to fill out an application, they're asking when I graduated from college, which, if you really think about it, that is going to be able to help them pinpoint how old you are.
It's just something I don't necessarily talk about. I would certainly never lie. I'm not embarrassed or anything like that. It's just not something I mention. So they assume I'm a certain age. And if it ever really comes up where I have to say, no, I'm, however old, usually the reaction is kind of like this shocked look. And at first, you might think that's a compliment.
I think I just have been blessed with some great genes.
I have noticed over time the increment between my actual age and the age they think I am has decreased, and seeing that number drop has not felt good.
But I do notice in pictures mostly that I can see the aging. And so I truly appreciate if someone says that I look younger. I honestly have no problem with getting older. I think it's a blessing, but it doesn't hurt for your ego to hear that you look younger and you look good.
What is this age supposed to look like? What is the perception of what being in your 40s is supposed to look like? And someone who's moving towards 50, and when you hit 50, is that going to change people's view of you?
But then I'm thinking, well, what would be wrong with being however old I am? Like, why is that so shocking? Why do people always assume that you need to look a certain way when you're a certain age.
I don't know if I look younger naked, and you're not going to find out in this video. And I'm sure a doctor would not say I look younger if they had any sort of scopes inside of me. So really, it used to mean a lot more, and now I just say, oh, that's nice, thanks.
Should I be here?
You know, I would like to think that everywhere I go, I can just flow with the environment and flow with people of all ages. And if I'm in a situation where most people are younger than me.
This past summer, we went to a concert in Long Beach, a festival. And I think that's when I started feeling a little, I don't want to say out of place, because it's a concert and everyone can enjoy, but we were probably definitely kind of the oldest people there.
Actually, I think I've been fortunate that I haven't really been in any situations where I felt really out of place because of my age. I
do remember somewhat recently going to like a birthday dinner with some people, and of course I was the oldest one, and it was not a problem for me. And then the party moved into a club for what they call a day party, and it was the middle of the day and music was playing and, you know, people interacting and dancing and drinking, and I just looked around and I said, you know what, this is really not this is really not where I want to be. This is not doing it for me. You know, you know, when you're my age, you've done that so many times.
I don't have a favorite YouTube celebrity, even though I do watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't have a favorite celebrity. There are a lot of musical influences right now going on that I have no idea who they are. There's genres of music that I've never listened to. Luckily, that doesn't make me really feel out of place. It just makes me feel I have to catch up.
It's just kind of interesting kind of looking around and, you know, kind of noticing, you know, what the younger people are wearing.
But I still like the hip gear. Longevity.
Okay, this is the big question.
My biggest fear of getting old is being alone. I mean, lucky enough, I'm married, but I don't have any kids. And even having kids doesn't guarantee that they're going to be there for you or take care of you. But I don't even have that chance.
Number one, mobility. I already, as I mentioned in an earlier question, have arthritis in my hips from the age of 37, and I'm kind of afraid that it's just going to continue to get worse from there. That perhaps whatever skeletal issue I had that led to that is going to cause other issues, and that I'm not going to be able to move, or my opportunities for movement are going to all of a sudden decrease. I won't be able to dance, I won't be able to walk.
The pain and the deterioration, I fear the inability to, you know, hold my bladder, you know. As a man, erectile dysfunction is a huge fear for me. The declining libido.
I probably have always had an unhealthy fear of death, and now that I'm getting older, I feel it even more. My mom passed when I was younger, and I always thought that I would too. And I honestly thought I'd die by the time I was 26, 27.
My father, grandfather, uncles, cousins, some have passed away before the age of 50, so I feel that longevity is my biggest fear right now.
Alzheimer's is rampant in my family, among other things, but I fear not being able to take care of myself. I'm both on the physical level and the mental level. I feel that everything could just slip away, and who I am as a person is no longer there.
The second thing is my mind. We are our memories. If I do something but don't have a memory of it, I don't know if I really can say that I did it. It's the memories that make up who I am today. 47 years of memories. You lose all those and it feels like you're losing who you are, and I'm afraid of doing that.
elderly people become invisible. I've noticed because I watch. I make a really big effort, especially with the aging people in my family, to talk to them, learn their stories, just engage with them.
So the fact that I'm almost 50 is definitely a blessing, but it also magnifies to me that it's inevitable, and I know that I should embrace it, but that does scare me.
Probably most of all, I fear is losing my ability to think and my ability to problem solve and my ability to interact with people and those kind of things, and the degree of social isolation that can happen to someone who's aging, and that long, slow trajectory of dying, of decline, of sickness. And it's, it scares the hell out of me.
But yeah, I think my biggest fear is being alone.
George and I originally connected as kids and recently got married and connected after 20-something years. And who knew that my old ass would be getting married at 47? Oh no, I was 46. I was 46. And so it's okay to wait, because then you find your soulmate. Oh, that's for you, Cal.